You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again. Today, we have another show lineup for y'all today. Today, we have our special guest for Human Coalition. We have Chelsey Youman. She is the Texas State Director and National Legislative Advisor. And recently, man, it's a hot topic. Midterms are around the corner. Abortion remains a key hot issue. President Biden has recently announced that he will codify legal abortion if the Democratic Party takes majorities in these elections. And there's also stories out there. He's entertaining other policies like the right to contraception bill, policies that are going to be interesting for women. So we're going to help get assistance from Chelsey to help break this down for us. Welcome to the show, Chelsey. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me today.
So with those two things on the plate right now, we have President Biden saying that he will codify legal abortion if the Democratic Party takes the majority of these elections. And also he's entertaining policies like right to contraception bill. What are those potential impact for the United States?
Well, they have a huge impact and frankly, a really, really devastating impact on our society because, the bill that he's saying would codify Roe actually does much more than Roe ever did. It would mandate abortion on demand through all 3 trimesters of pregnancy. So women in any state, anywhere up until birth would be allowed to abort their children. And it would be, even in some cases, like some states, Maryland and California have said, even after 40 days of birth with a newborn, that they would have a failure to investigate any infant death. So very devastating impact. We already know that Roe killed 63 million children in the last 50 years. It's responsible for that. So you could imagine the impact codifying this through all trimesters across the entire country would have.
And with you being a pro-life advocate and leader at Human Coalition Action, I mean, there's always something being said about information being misleading, right? And that's a hot topic as well. How do you and the people with Human Coalition Action combat that with women as far as trying to share the actual resources and material that can be read to kind of simmer down the backlash that goes to organizations like yourself?
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. So we at Human Coalition, in case you don't know, we're a network of clinics serving women in 7 states. And we also serve women through what we call a telecare model, which is she can call through and she's pregnant, looking for an abortion or in desperate need of help. And we are immediately there on the phone with her with a licensed nurse, a licensed professional. We adhere to HIPAA. It is truly the next generation of pro-life ministry and care for women. Pregnancy resources at her fingertips right then and there. And of course, all of that can only happen through building relationships of trust and care for women. And so what you're talking about is really 2 separate conversations. There's one conversation where the Biden administration and frankly, a lot of Democrats are very committed to shutting down pregnancy resource centers or anyone that cares for women outside of abortion. And they're doing that through sending investigation letters, subpoenas, all kinds of things. And that's really more of a political stunt and conversation. And then there's the other conversation, which is the one we're having with women who actually are pregnant and in need. And so we understand them deeply. We've served over 250,000 women throughout COVID, and we serve 100,000 a year, really. And so we know their needs, and that's where we meet them, where they're at on their terms, and just start asking questions. Is it safe housing? Is it employment? Is it assistance paying for childcare? These are very simple, tangible support needs that women are having that drive them to seek abortion out of fear. And it's not a decision made out of empowerment. And we're there to empower them to choose life. So those are the 2 real separate conversations, but all that happens with just honest and genuine professional care for women.
And with Human Coalition Action, like you said moments ago, you are providing options. You're providing resources. You're not necessarily telling people what to do. You're just giving them an option to say, hey, what about this?
Exactly. 76% of women who we serve say, if my circumstances were different, I would actually prefer to parent. These are women seeking abortion. And I think that's a really powerful statistic. I wish every single person in our country knew that. 76% of women seeking abortion would prefer to parent. And so that's where we step in. That's where 3,000 other pro-life organizations step in and say, how can we alleviate those circumstances? Because we believe in her. We believe she can. We believe she's able, and we want to help equip her to do that.
Once again, talking to Chelsey Youman. She is Texas State Director and National Legislative Advisor. You can go to humancoalition.org. Once again, that's humancoalition.org. I want to say thank you again, Chelsey, taking time out of your schedule to talk to Refocus Radio.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.